It's for the most part the women is the reason we post so much of the women is because that's what sells. That's what
Hmm.
gets clicks.
Man, you know what? It's interesting because how do you break out of this little, I guess you want to say algorithm that we in where most guys are clicking on just to see what type of girl that you're dating, more so than we really want to show you guys more of the culture. But I will say that in the comment section, you're gonna have guys that like, oh man, great video, love the video, but it's always gonna be few and in between.
Few. The hack that I did with that, because the reason the situation was so bad in Brazil was I tried to do that in Brazil. Like, okay, enough about women. I don't want to put women in the video. When I first moved to Salvador, I did a video. How much do groceries cost in Salvador? That
Mm-hmm.
video has like 10,000 views to this day. Then I do a video, all white party, beautiful Brazilian women. I put some beautiful Brazilian women on the thumbnail. That video does 100,000 views.
Hi guys, so Auston Holman's channel has been on a downward slide ever since he left Africa. His videos are getting very few views. His last video actually has only 6,000 views in one whole day. That's bad. That's really bad. That is a low view count. And the one previous to that actually has even worse view counts. It has only 16K views in 9 days. That's more than a week. In more than a week, that video only got 16,000 views. And this guy has almost 90K subscribers, and his videos are getting views similar to videos made by accounts with like 20K, 30K subscribers. So yeah, his channel is not doing well. And Aston's finance is murky, right? Because one day he says he's so broke he cannot even afford to pay $1,000 for an Airbnb. But the next day he says he is so flushed with cash he can, take a month off and still be living, the high life in Paraguay. So I cannot say if the fact that his videos are getting so low views would hurt his finance. The funny thing is that when he was in Rwanda, he was complaining how low the view counts were for the videos he was posting from Rwanda, and he called the view count pitiful. And you know what he called pitiful? What he called pitiful was getting 10,000 views a day. For him, that was absolutely a trash number. But now he's not even getting that in 3 4 days. He's barely making 10K views in 2 3 days. So
When I got to Kenya, all my videos were doing like 40,000 plus views in the first like 48 hours. Whenever I got to Uganda, that turned to like 20,000 in the first 48 hours. Now I'm in Kigali, Rwanda, and it's down to like 10,000 views the first day, which is like beginner level for me. If that stuff I was doing, actually, I think I was doing better numbers last year. In one day, that video got 10,000 views. One day. That's pitiful.
So the view count is really bad for him. But it's not just the view count, right? If you compare the growth of new subscribers, the speed at which he is getting new subscribers, it has slowed down significantly since he left Africa, right? When he arrived in Africa, he had like 53, 52, or 55, something like that, but less than 60,000 uh, uh, subscribers. And if you guys follow him, whenever he achieves a milestone in subscriber numbers, he announced it on his community wall. So I actually went back and checked the community wall announcements to calculate the rate at which he was getting new subscribers when he was in Africa. So he announced that he had, gotten 60,000 followers like 6 months ago, And then a month later, he announced that he had achieved 70K subscribers. So but that means like, he was getting 10,000 subscribers every month. But I think he left Africa with like 83, 84, I mean, more than 80,000 subscribers. And he has been outside Africa for like 2 months almost now, and his subscribers he hasn't broken the 90K milestone. So it tells you that his subscriber growth has slowed down significantly since he left Africa. Now, the question is, why is his channel doing so badly in terms of view count and in terms of subscriber growth? And the answer is very obvious. It's because he doesn't have women on his channel. People watch Austin's channel to watch the interaction he has with women, to watch beautiful women on his channel. Whenever Austin has beautiful women on his channel, he gets a lot of views. And it's not just me saying that, it's his subscribers saying it, it is he himself saying it. I mean, his most popular video is a video of him with Kate. When he had Kesa on, his videos got a lot of views. When he had Jane on, his videos got a lot of views. The same thing with Crystal. He even had this Kenyan girl that he kept on calling a Somali girl. He actually had to block her face and block her voice, and still that video is one of his most viewed videos. So yeah, he needs women for people to watch his videos. But here is the problem now. Since he left Africa, he had not been able to get women on his channel. When he was in Thailand, at least he had, a Thai girl that he kept on calling a black South African girl. At least he was able to get her on camera, and she kind of got him a lot of views. But in Europe, he couldn't get a single woman to be with him on camera. I mean, he was saying that he was not able to get the beautiful women to date him, let alone to be with him on camera. But at least when he was in Europe, he had Floyd. And there was a storyline, right? Because they were stranded in Europe and they were broke in Europe. So we were watching, because people like to watch the storylines, right? We were watching to find out what happens next, right? But after they left Europe, the two separated, right? They went their own ways. And Austin is now by himself in South America, where the population is whiter than the rest of South America, and he is having hard time getting girls, at least getting girls to be on camera with him. I mean, I don't think those girls want to be seen on camera with a black guy. And some of them, even if they want to be seen on camera with him, once they realize, he said they Google him and find out who he is. Once they find out who he is, they're like, no, I don't want to be with you. One girl actually told him that she doesn't want to be with him because he's a misogynist, which is correct. He's a misogynist.
There's been numerous amounts of women and I can't hide my social media. I've tried. The women will see my name on WhatsApp and they'll go type it in on Google, and then all of a sudden they're following me on Instagram and they say, I didn't know you were a YouTuber. I found you on YouTube too. A lot of those women have been just disappearing like the Casper ghost. Everything happens for a reason. You guys remember when I told you when I was in Uruguay and I got the girl's number at the gym, and she saw me walking around the mall asking women, where's the best gym at? and she told me that I was objectifying women, so she didn't want to go to date with me anymore.
So this guy is having hard time getting girls to, to be on camera with him in, in South America. I mean, compare the number of girls he had on camera since he has been in Latin America to the number of beautiful girls he had when he was in Africa. I mean, he has so many beautiful girls on his show when he was in Africa, but right now in Latin America, especially in South Latin America, he has had almost no girls on camera. Not the one that he was on date with. The only girls we see are random girls he meets all on a shopping trip or in the restaurants. But he hadn't had any quote unquote girlfriend on his show. But in Africa, he had so many beautiful girls on his show. So yeah, the lack of beautiful girls that are willing to be on camera with him, the beautiful girls that he is dating in quotes, to be on camera with him, what that has done is it has crashed his view number, right? The view has gone down significantly. Like I said, he needs women, and without women, his view has crashed. So what does he do when the views have crashed? I mean, he does what a lot of black men do when it doesn't work out for them with white women. They go back to black women. They bring the black women to clean up all the mess, right? And that's what Auston is doing. Has said on his last live that he was going to get this girl.
But as you guys may know, in Brazil, that is a thing. There's a cultural difference. In Senegal, there's a cultural difference. I only spent 1 week in Senegal and I didn't socialize too much, but I am hiring the girl, the Muslim girl that I was with in Senegal. I'm hiring her. I've already reached out to her and I've already talked to her. I'm hiring her for her to go do a call with me, and we're going to talk about some cultural things that you guys should know, and also places that maybe I missed on the guide. So guys, I'm putting in the effort. This is not easy for me, okay?
I think her name is Aidara, to come talk about conservative girls, and I'm like, not really. That's not why you want her. You want her because you want a girl on your show. And he knows that the only girls that will be willing to come to his show, either physically or virtually, are black girls. I mean, like I said, he is using black girls as clean-up crews. And the cleanup crew right now is this girl, this Senegalese girl, Aidara, and he wants her to be on his show so that people could come and watch his his channel, so that he could attract views to his videos. But the thing is the shamelessness of this guy, because Auston has been insulting Senegal ever since he left that country. I mean, he was in that country for less than 2 weeks, but he has labeled the whole country a country of scammers and con artists. He actually had a live titled "Let's Talk About Scams Overseas." And in that live, he spent half of the live stream calling Senegalese scammers. But now here he is calling a Senegalese girl to save his dying YouTube channel. So, I mean, this guy, he insults African girls, or he either insults them personally or he insults their countries. But then whenever he needs them to make money, he will use them. That is what he is doing with Kesa, right? Because he has been attacking Kesa. It's not even attacking, it's almost like a campaign of defamation, right? Because he is not just attacking himself. He has his mouthpiece Paul, Travel Time with Paul, make a whole video attacking Kesa and her mom. But then when Austin comes up with some harebrained business idea, he uses her image. The same thing with Crystal. He has been retweeting tweets attacking Crystal, but then when he needs to, to make money, he uses her image. And this is the same thing with Idra, right? He has been attacking Senegal, but now he is going to turn around and use one of Senegal's most popular social media personality to save his channel, to increase the revenue in his channel. So yeah, it's just, the whole thing is just ridiculous, right? But let me say this, and I have said it before, but it's worth repeating. Austin thought him being in Africa was a favor to Africa. He thought that Africa benefited more by him being there than he did. He actually thought that the view numbers and the subscribers number would have been higher had he not gone to Africa. He had a live once where he said that the number of subscribers he got by visiting 5 African countries, he would get those same number of subscribers after visiting just 3 Latin American countries.
Do you believe that you would definitely get your subscribers skyrocketed, especially from guys from the West, if you say explore Latin America more? If you went to like Honduras, El Salvador, or even Argentina and Peru or Colombia?
Yeah, I'm doing 2 more African countries after I leave, before I leave, and then I'll go to Latin America. I'm about to tell you, my subscribers, by the time I do 7, by the time I do as many countries as I did in Africa, which is 7, well, it'll be 9 by the time I leave. It'll only take 3 to have that same amount of impact in my channel that it did in Africa.
And he has now visited three Latin American countries, and guess what? He hasn't gotten half, not even, I don't even think 1/3 the number of subscribers he got when he was in Africa. And he is not the only person, the only passport bro who thinks that, going to Africa is actually a favor to Africa, a favor they are doing at the expense of growth, at the expense of viewership number for their channels, when in reality it's the opposite. They get more views, they get more subscribers when they are in Africa. So they are not doing a favor to Africa by being there. Africa is doing them a favor, right? One more thing, this girl, Idara, when she was on Austin's channel, she didn't talk, a lot, and I think her English is not as good as the English of the other girls, the other African girls he had. So it is strange why he would want, to have her on. Why not another, African girl? But it's probably because she probably is the only African girl that he hadn't insulted personally. Maybe, she is the only one that has been on camera that he could, call back on. And the other thing is, when she was, on his show the first time, he didn't even tag her. He didn't even say her name. He didn't tag her social media account. And on when he had her on, he said something as like it was a collaboration between the two. But if it is a collaboration, why aren't you tagging her social media account? I mean, you guys know that this is one problem I have with him. The fact that he has these African girls, but he doesn't tag their social media account, thereby denying them from benefiting from being on his channel. I don't even understand why he had that mentality. You are a black man, but you don't want to help other black people, especially the black people that are helping you. You don't want to help them. It's like, I don't even, I don't understand that mentality. And it really, really annoys me. He uses African girls to get views and all kinds of clicks, but he will not even tag their social media account. It just annoys me. Anyways, the funny thing is that I actually support what he's doing with Idara, which is what he's planning to do with Idara, which is zoom her in. And that is something he could have done when Kesa was in Rwanda. He could have zoomed her in, on a live, and of course tag her social media account, and the interaction with them. He probably would have gotten even more, more views if he had done that. If he had, continued to have virtual interaction, to zoom in the the African girls to his live wherever he's in the world. Of course, if he was not insulting them to start with, it would have been even more enjoyable to watch his show. But this guy is, a constant bridge burner, right? He burns almost every bridge he has with girls, but for some reason he has no shame. He's always trying to use those same women to to sell this thing and that thing. Okay. Anyways, let me know what you think. Thank you. Bye bye.